Okay, 3 viewers again. Thank God. Guys, I am so sorry. If you're over on YouTube, okay, if you're on any other service, you're probably just seeing me cut it off and cut it back on. And I apologize for that. If you're on YouTube, whenever it gets into a spiral where it reconnects, the software nerfs it and drops the YouTube leg and does not bring it back up reliably. And trust me, I pay almost $30 a month just for that service on its own. I'm going to be calling somebody at Streamlabs and having a talk to see. Alright, we're done with that McConnell's Mill. There wasn't much to see there because the main route through the park that shows you the most was closed because they're paving it. Little rickety mountainside thing. Alec, Louisiana, round 3, fight. Thanks for coming back again. My. And it looks like my cigarette ran out of batteries. That's the modern era. I hate it when my cigarette runs out of batteries. Let's go ahead and charge that up. Not really needing to charge the phone anyway right now. That's at 100%, so. This stream provided by Mobile Must Have, Kia Cero Mobile, and Verizon Wireless. For You Mobility Solutions, where they build wheelchairs and wheelchair vans. So, we're not in the parks anymore, but that's okay. Sorry about the noise. That's harmonics from the exhaust, and it's a brand new exhaust. I just got the MagnaFlow because it was cheaper, and wow, it's louder. Not as loud as when it had no pipes on it at all. Safe travels, no comments worth it, unsafe travel. Oh, that's okay. Mills, Jared King, the Silver Horsey, thank you for tuning in, bud. Mills has been closed so often this year. Went for a drive last month, and there was some movie being filmed. Yeah, I remember that too, come to think of it. But yeah, we're just cruising on right now. We're up on Route 19, headed towards 422, and I'm going to take 422 back to the house. There's plenty of foliage to see on the way back. Several areas of dead foliage and distressed foliage on the way back home. I'm going to get back to my house. What time is it? Noon 30? Yeah, I'm going to get back to my house. There's plenty to see. Like a Messer tanker truck. Gases for life. Ugh. Notification that I went live. Here we go. Ramp down to 422. I'm going to do some Google Map recon, some local stops I should search. Yeah, I would recommend McConnell's Mill Mill State Park. We just came out of there. I'd recommend Moraine State Park. And they're going to have 2 or really 3 sections. One of them is going to be the South Shore Park, one of them is going to be the North Shore Park, and the last one is going to be the 422, old 422 spur. And there's another one, there's the 528 boat launch down there. Just all of that's going to fall under Moraine State Park. It's all Butler County, Pennsylvania, and Lawrence County, Pennsylvania. Cheeseman's Freight Farm. Cheeseman's Freight Farm. Big thing this time of year up this way. It's right at the exit of McConnell's Mill State Park. Cooper's Lake Campground is another good one up here. As a matter of fact, we'll be passing it on the left coming up, right by 79 and 422. Tobacco Hut 2. Yeah, Tobacco Hut 2. They're going to have like some tobacco and a bunch of vapes and weed pens and stuff. But, you know, I like vapes. I like tobacco. It's all in what you make it. Pizza Pie in the general area. Oh, not a problem, bud. Pizza Pie has really good sub sandwiches, like Italian subs, really good. Tanny's Pizza is another really good one, T-A-N-I. Tanny's Pizza, there in the city of Butler. Yeah, this is my home base out here. Just listening to the lifters tick away. Typewriter. $198,902 miles. Getting closer to that 200,000 mark. I hope this motor makes it to the 200,000 mark. That's why I'm keeping it around here for right now. It's the big natural attractions for PA. For Minnesota, it's the North Shore of Lake Superior. There's several. All depends on what you're into. Let me wait for this fire radio to stop screaming at me, because this sounds real, and I'll let you know. It's a lot of tones. Something's on fire.
Station 30, 25, 28, at the beer garden. All came from the business, reporting fire in the kitchen. Fire north.
Well, the beer garden is currently on fire in Butler County, so maybe not there now, but first of all, the state park system is incredibly robust. There is a ton of state parks all over the Commonwealth, and a lot of them are worth visiting. There's a really big wilderness lodge at Bald Eagle State Park. I can't remember the actual name of the state park up in Williamsport, or up north of Williamsport, Tioga County. It's going to be the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. And if you look that up, it's kind of an interesting feature there. There is the Kinzoo Skywalk, the Kinzoo Skyway Bridge, which used to be a railroad bridge, which was destroyed by a tornado back in 2003. Half of it was knocked down. They made the other half into an elevated park. One of the highest elevated parks there is. Amazing views. Used to be the highest railroad bridge east of the Mississippi. I would also say, if you're into theme parks, there's Kennywood, there's Hershey Park, there's Waldemere Park, which is seasonal. Presque Isle State Park on the south shore of Lake Erie, up in Erie County, Pennsylvania. have little kids, the crayon factory for Crayola is over on the east side of the state. We have that here. If you're a fan of Jackass or CKY, the Creek State Park. That horrible picture that everybody passes around on the internet in Bedford County, Pennsylvania stuff. We have all kinds of stuff. Admiral Perry's ancient ship from the Continental War, whatever, Revolutionary War of 1812. I can't remember which war it was. That's docked up in Erie, Pennsylvania on the bayfront. It's still maintained, and he has many as I can get into Google. So State Park System Gettysburg, State Park System Gettysburg, Waldemere, Presque Isle State Park, Erie County, Admiral Perry, his ship in Erie County, Bald Eagle State Park Lodge, Kennywood Park, Hershey Park, Crayola Crayon Factory over on the east, Westchester, Pennsylvania was like the site of Jackass. I know I had more, man. I hope it didn't buffer out through too much of it. Connection's back. Good. Connection's back. So I think it was during the time I was talking about Perry's ship. Also up in Erie County, other than, you know, the views and everything in Waldemere Park, is Oliver Hazard Perry's ship from, I think, the War of 1812. And it's still there, and it's still kept in great condition. Like, they've replaced everything. Hand-hewed wooden ship, and it's docked out back of a museum. It's the Seafaring and Warfare Museum, like Naval Museum up there. Kinsey Skyway Bridge in Kane. Natural sculpture view looks so cool from the aerial view of the East Coast. They are. That McConnell's Mill State Park that I wanted to take you guys through, that thing has natural rock gorge formations that they actually paved a road through. So you can drive through the rock formations there. You can drive through the rock formations there. That contains a lot too through there. That's Alpha Pass, that's Hell's Hollow Falls. There's a lot there. Yeah, there's a ton around here. Like flowing lava. Yeah, floating lava. Just kind of hangs out up top. If you like hunting, there's apparently a bunch of hunting up through here. There's a bunch of hiking. Wintertime stuff, there's skiing. The aforementioned Bald Eagle State Park Wilderness Lodge. In Bald Eagle State Park, I think at that lodge they have a ski resort, I believe. So if you're into skiing and it's wintertime's coming up, then there you go. We've got tons of skiing up through here. Seven Springs, several others. What is it? Massanutten, I guess it was. Maybe that's in Virginia. I can't remember. I think that's in Virginia. Yeah, I grew up in Virginia, so I get stuff twisted sometimes. Seven Springs is definitely up there. That's a big ski resort. Lots of rock formation-y stuff, especially out in the western part of the state and central part of the state. That's core on the Allegheny Mountain Range. And once again, Bald Eagle, right up there. The Pennsylvania Grand Canyon is at a Pennsylvania State Park. It's not the official name, but that's what everybody going to be the south, because there's a park on each side. So it's going to be the south park, the southern park stuff. Definitely got you. You got to watch out around here, though. I'm gonna forewarn you. I gotta warn you. The beer garden's good. The beer garden lives to beer another day. I will tell you. So Pennsylvania's tricky, and they got weird laws. If you go to a state park, the national park system, we do have national forest here, and they are different. But the state parks, almost all of them, do not allow you to be in the park after dark. It's weird, but they almost all don't allow you to be in the park after dark. And if you stay in the park after dark, the forest rangers are roving around and they'll tell you to leave the park. And if a forest ranger misses you, then there's any given chance that a state trooper is going to be cutting your tent open at 3 in the morning and pointing a gun at you. Now, that doesn't apply to the sanctioned campgrounds that, of course, the state runs that they make money off of. That doesn't apply to the cabins. There's plenty of cabins and yurts, rustic cabins all over the state in the state parks, and they rent out. They're really nice. The mattresses are a bit hard, but they're really nice. The lodges, you can stay in the lodges, and then all of these state parks nearby to them, if they don't have their own on-site accommodations, somewhere relatively nearby to them will be campgrounds or hotels. Like there's a campground in McConnell's Mill State Park that's run by a private entity. I don't know. It's Pennsylvania. It's weird. Don't know what to tell you there. But just that's a heads up. That's a heads up for that type of thing. I was out a couple of years ago shooting aurora in one of the parks I just came out of, Moraine State Park. I was shooting the aurora up there, and I had the SWAT team and asked you for subscribing. You should be You should be subscriber 701 unless somebody left, so now you're 700. I always balance right around 700. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for subscribing. Got your notifications turned on. The aurora was so good for us last night. Yeah, I saw a bunch of my friends that were up north in North Dakota getting all those tornadoes that happened up there. We're getting crazy aurora. And another friend of mine was up in Michigan. Storm chaser Jaden Pappenheim with Severe Studios. He was up in Michigan, and I got that aurora beautiful display. I'm not a big aurora guy, but if it pays, I'll be there, kind of thing. And but yeah, they got some killer shots last night. So I'm coming up on my house, basically, is what's up. So I'm going to be cutting the stream here. Just reminding everybody to subscribe, hit that bell icon. You can always get in-field content along with vehicle repair content, storm chasing equipment content, all that good stuff here on the channel. Whenever you feel like it, be awesome. Be ultimately awesome. Love you guys, and until next time, Storm Chaser B. Dean Berry, Keystone Prime. I thank you for